Hey Derek, what's going on? Do you have any exercises for 5-string bass? Well, of course I do. So first and foremost, let me get this out of the way. The 5-string bass to me is really considered to be an extension of a 4-string bass. So that would be my question to whoever's asking that question. So if you want to know about 5-string exercises, are you familiar with the 4-string bass? So if you're familiar with that, you'll understand the concept of the 5-string bass. So there's four different exercises, or three. I think it's 3 or 4. We'll see. It may be a bonus one that would help you understand the 5th string, which is the lowest string, the B string. So you want to be able to incorporate that note or that string inside of your playing. So the first concept that you want to understand is the octaves. So say if we're playing a major scale in octaves. Very simple, right? We're using the A string and the G string to play the C major scale. Octaves, C, C, D, D, E, E, F, F, and so forth. So now what you want to do is you want to go octave of that, the lower octave of the C. So the first C that you would have on that first fret, on that B string, that's your C. So now you have 3 Cs. So you have 2 octaves really that you can work with in the frame of 5 frets. So you have a C here, and a C here. So you can actually do a 2-octave major scale if you wanted to, just within these frets. But just learning and being comfortable with playing the octave, it's going to work the same way. So as long as you know that major scale, you can follow along with the octaves of that on the B string and just utilize it. And the great thing about it is bass is geometrically made up of shapes. Okay, so once we have that concept down, when we add another string, and this goes for adding a higher string as well, we can actually use the same exact shapes that we've played using a 4-string bass. So like I said, once you understand the concept of a 4-string bass, adding strings will actually mean not too much to you. You'll be able to kind of navigate your way around naturally. So C major scale, that's the first exercise that you can do. C major scale, just octaves, starting on the B string. And then you'll start to learn the notes of that C major scale, because now it's going to be a little bit different. Now you have to recognize your C on your A string because that's what you're familiar with. So you have a C playing the octave here, D, E, F, G, A, which is an octave. And the thing about it is now you're not dealing with the fret markers. You have to think really octave wise, because here you have a fret marker on the 12th fret, but you don't have one on the B string here on the 10th fret. So now you have to think completely different, but the shape doesn't change. You still have that L shape of an octave. B, and then C, which is your C would land right here after the 12th fret. So you kind of have to take a mental note of that. The second exercise is to add arpeggios. Okay, you can actually add the scale or 2-octave scale within that first one, but we'll go over that a little later. So an arpeggio, just take for instance a C major 7 arpeggio. So let's keep it right here in the key of C so it'll be a little bit more comfortable for you. You can move this around as you wish after you get the concept down. So C major 7 arpeggio, we're going to play this way. C, E, G, B. That first C is going to be on your B string, your new B string, first fret, and then the 5th fret is going to be your E on the B string, 3rd fret, G string, 2nd fret, A string. Okay, so we're going to play it just like that, and then we're going to play another octave of it for us just to get used to playing it up and down the fretboard. So very simple. Major 7 arpeggio, major 7 arpeggio. Very, very simple. Okay, so work that back and forth just to get you used to moving up that extra string, or just getting used to that extra string. Okay. Third exercise is actually that major scale, the 2-octave major scale. Now, in this case, you can actually do a 3-octave major scale if you want to, because now you have the range. Now you have the range of a B string, or the advantage of a B string. You can move all the way up to that 3rd octave. Okay, so let's work with 2 octaves right now. So same way we did the arpeggio is the same way we can work the scale. And if you notice, I use two different methods or two different positions to play that 2-octave major scale. So first position using the first finger for the C major in the beginning. Now second position right here. And just combine the two. So it's a very, very simple way to combine major scales, arpeggios, just to get you used to playing the 5th string. Like I said, once you understand the concept of the 4th string, you'll be able to move and maneuver. If you get a 5 string, 6 string, 7 string, it doesn't matter. It's the same exact concept. So that's really what you have to keep in mind about this. There's exercises all over the place. And what I would add is you play what you would normally play on your 4th string on a 5. Same thing. So think about a keyboard, think about a piano. So you know how they have those little practice pianos like with 25 keys, or is it 25 keys? I don't know. Anyway, then they have like another one with like 48 keys. Is it 48? Don't quote me. But I think it's a little bit bigger. It has 40 something keys. Then they have another one with 60 something keys, and then 88 keys, right? Yeah, I'm not a pianist, so don't quote me. So I know it's 80 something. But anyway, think about it like that. The piano doesn't change. The elements of the piano or the keyboard does not change. You just have more range, right? You have more range that you can work with. I think about that same way, or that same method with 5 string, 6 string, 7 string, 8 string, 9 string, if you want to keep going. But it's the same exact concept. You have more range. The instrument didn't change, but now you just have more range to do what, you could do on a smaller scale. I've seen a lot of people play smaller keyboards and be able to play full songs on a 20-something key keyboard, but their voicings have to change just a little bit. Stuff, you kind of have to maneuver to what you have. But once they space out, they can space out their chords just a little bit, a little bit more. Same notes are still there, but you can use it differently. I use the same thing with the 5 string. I talked a little bit about it before as far as using chords or playing chords on the 5 string. And I'll talk about that inside of our chords course as well, inside of Bass Nation Academy. If you guys want to check that out, I'll put the link in the description for you. So you can check that out. Chords course, everything you need to know, playing chords on a 5 string, which has really opened me up completely to playing chords on a 5 string once I got my 5 string and a 6 string. So if you want to learn more about that, the link is in the description. So next, the 4th exercise that you can do to get yourself familiar with a 5 string is actually just play a groove. Play exactly what you would play on a 4 string. So in this case, I'm going to demonstrate a groove in the key of D. Play it on the 4 string in the key of D. I'm using the A string, D string, G string to play this groove. Now this is something that I would normally play on a 4 string, but now let's see what it sounds an octave lower. Now that we have the advantage of having a D string, not a D string, but the advantage of having a B string, but we have the note in the key D, we can use that to our advantage. So same exact concept, same groove. Let's check it out. You hear the difference of the 2 different octaves. It gives it a completely different feel. Sometimes what I like to do is when I'm playing or playing at a gig or something like that, or playing a song, I'll see how each one feels. I'll play the higher octave for a second, then go to the low just randomly, then go back up to the high. I'll even break it up sometimes and play the lowest note that I can possibly play, which is the D, inside of that same exact groove. So here it is. So I'll break it up that way just to get some, just to make it a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more interesting. So that's the fourth exercise that you can do when getting yourself comfortable with 5-string, and just really play. The repetitiveness is where you want to be. That's what you want to do when you're playing this 5-string, getting comfortable with it, with anything. You just want to play it more and more and more. Utilize it so you get comfortable with it. And sometimes when I'm playing 5-string, sometimes I notice that I'm not even utilizing it that much. I'm usually just playing the first 4 strings and not even really utilizing the B string. It's kind of like my secret weapon sometimes, and I'll go to it when I need to, or just kind of at different times or kind of random times that I would need to, or think about going to that B string or that lower note. But anyway, we'll talk about that more a little bit later. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you did, go ahead and subscribe. The red subscribe button is somewhere around here, somewhere around this video, and click the notification bell icon so you get notified every single time we upload a video to this channel. Also, remember when I mentioned about playing chords earlier, we have a chords course available, many more courses as well, but a chords course available inside of the Bass Nation Academy. The link is going to be in the description. Again, also the theoretical elements that I was talking about in there, if you're unfamiliar with that, we dive deeper into that as well, and we get that covered. So check it out when you get a chance. Make sure your notes are coming out clean, clear, and precise, and I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.